What's going on, guys? Choosing the wrong real estate agent can actually cost you tens of thousands of dollars, or even worse, it could cost you your dream home. But how do you know how to tell a seasoned pro from a bad agent? Well, in this video, I'm going to expose the red flags most agents do not want you to know, the questions that can reveal the truth about it, and some personal stories from the trenches that can help you understand it even more. This isn't a just pick a random realtor anytime. This is your money, and it's your future that's on the line. Hey guys, now my name's Chad Dorman. I am your local real estate agent right here in Columbia, South Carolina, and I help buyers from all walks of life, especially first-time home buyers and folks relocating from out of state. I help them find not just a house, but a home with which they can love. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, give me a thumbs up if you're excited to learn, and drop your story in the comments. I want to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly of all your agent experiences. I love reading them, and I'll respond with my thoughts to every single one that I can. And if you want to get personal help with your situation, book a Zoom call with me. The link's in the description, and it's on the banner. I'm available most all the time. Seriously, real estate, it's my full-time obsession, and I've got nothing holding me back from putting my clients first. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. Choosing a buyer's agent is very much like hiring a bodyguard for your home buying journey. And I'm about to show you how to hire the ultimate bodyguard and avoid all the phonies. Now let's roll. All right, let's start this off. I want to give you my take on most all real estate agents, and this is them as a uniform whole. And I may get in trouble with this, with some other agents for this. Half the agents out there are great. Half of them are not so great. But with the internet these days and AI and everything else, it's not that hard to check their stats out. I do this every day just to see who I'm working with on the other side of a deal. And when I'm interviewing other agents, which I am referring to other areas other than my area here in Columbia, South Carolina, because I do referrals out to places other than Columbia all the time. Listen, some of the things you want to do that make it easy, check their Google reviews online. This tells a lot about a person. If they have a bad experience, most people are itching to go give a bad review. Make sure they're full-time, not part-time, unless they're on a team. We'll talk more about this later because that team will be helping them out. But experience and keeping up with the rules of your state and in your nation can be a big difference. Now, one other thing a lot of people don't realize, and this is how I interview other agents a lot of times, go to homes.com. Here you can look up the agent. You can see how many deals they have done in the last 5 years. You can see 2 years. You can see how many they did in the last year. You can even see whether they do more buyer deals or listing deals and see what they've done. This is not that hard to do. And so if you're listing or buying a house, see what they do more of. What does a buyer's agent actually do? Well, let me tell you what a buyer and a seller's agent doesn't do. They don't sell and buy homes. To give you a little more context to that, let me tell you what it does and what I mean by that. Number one, a buyer's agent is a translator. Real estate contracts read like they were written by a wizard, a very boring wizard at that. Even when you read it, you don't understand it. Your agent could translate everything into plain English, and they can shorten it up for you. Number two, they're a negotiator. This is on the price of the home, repairs, closing costs, timeline, appraisal gaps, concessions. This is where you either keep money in your pocket or you donate it to the transaction. And you've got to have an agent for that. Number three, risk manager. Inspections, disclosures, zoning, flood zones, neighborhoods, resale value. Your agent should be thinking, what could hurt my buyer later on in the future? Those are all risks that you're taking in doing this, even though your payment's probably going to be better, a lot better than if you were even renting. And number four, what they do is they're a shield. Your agent's supposed to protect you from the pressure, especially your own pressure. Because listen, buyers get emotional, and that's normal. But we don't write six-figure checks based on butterflies. It doesn't need to happen. You want peace of mind and protection. So here's the deal. As a first-time buyer, you're likely feeling very intimidated by the process, and you're worried about making a very costly mistake. Well, a great agent can turn that anxiety into confidence. They'll educate you on the market, they'll run the numbers so you don't overpay, and they'll ensure the home you choose is a solid investment. You want to think of them as a home buying guardian angel who isn't afraid to get tough with the seller if they need to. Now, the right agent makes the process feel easy and stress-free for you, so you can focus on the excitement of finding that perfect home, not the dread of what could go wrong. There's a big difference in those two, which I'll tell you even more about toward the end. Now, the number two thing I want to talk about is the new rules you're going to run into. If you have not heard, it's been over a year now, almost a year and a half, but in many markets, buyers are being asked to sign a buyer's agreement before they can even tour homes. And it spells out how the agent gets paid, what services you're getting. These changes started rolling out nationally around August 17th, 2024. And it was after the big NAR-related settlement hit the entire real estate world. That's not good or bad. It's just the new world. The key is you should understand what you're signing and what you can negotiate, and we're going to cover that. If an agent gets weird when you start asking questions about the agreement, that's not confidence, that's a warning light. So beware on that. Let's talk about researching your agent that you're looking to choose, talking to multiple agents as well as interviewing them, and the questions that you want to ask. Listen, all the other agents that are out there, don't get too offended by what I'm saying and all this stuff. Let's just hope you're a good agent. How do you screen for the gems and weed out the duds? By interviewing them. Think of hiring a buyer's agent just like a job interview. You're the boss. Now, here's what I want you to understand and why I want you to know these things about an agent. 69% of agents last year in the U.S. did not close even one single house. Not one. 80% of agents across the nation closed one house or less. Now also, 90% of agents that get their real estate license fizzle out in the first year because they did not realize just how tough it is and how much you need to know just to do one single transaction. They thought you just show up to a house and you make tons of money. And it's the furthest from the truth. I have never worked harder than it as I'd work right now as a real estate agent. And still, with all these stats that I just quoted you, did you know that 80% of buyers and sellers go with the first real estate agent they talk to without asking any questions at all? Would you hire a defense attorney like this? If you're on trial for something big, you're going to get the best. You're going to interview these people. This is the same person that will be fighting for you, for your rights, and they'll get the best possible deal they can for you on one of the most expensive decisions you'll make in your lifetime. Now, with that said, here are some of the key questions in blunt Chad style to throw at any agent you're considering. Number one, how long have you been an agent and how many buyers did you help in the past year? Now, I already told you how you can look that up on homes.com, but experience isn't everything, but it does count. You want someone who's active in the current market and they know how to close deals. If they're newer, that's okay. If they have a great mentor or a team. But if this is an inside gig or they sold like one home last year, you might want to not be the guinea pig on this one. An agent who has completed a healthy number of transactions recently shows they're engaged and sharp in today's market. That's what you're looking for. Now, number two, ask them, do you work full-time or part-time? Is this your main gig? Let me tell you, it does matter. This ties in with the experience. I'm going to be real. A lot of people have real estate licenses. I just told you, 80% of them in the entire United States closed one deal or less last year. But not everyone is all in. You deserve a full-time pro, not someone who's doing this on the side. Full-timers generally have more up-to-date knowledge and availability. Also, ask if they operate solo or if they're with a team. And if on a team, will you be working with them directly or are you going to get passed off to an assistant? These things do matter. You want to know what and who you're signed up for. What areas do you specialize in? There's a lot of different kind of real estate agents out there. If you're buying in Columbia or Irmo, for my shameless plug, an agent who mainly works an hour away might not know the local scoop. You want someone who can tell you the difference between neighborhood A and neighborhood B, where the good schools are, where flood zones are, or traffic nightmares might be. You really don't want that. A specialist in your target area or property type can be golden. If you're a first-time buyer, also ask if they have experience guiding first-timers, because patience and teaching ability are key when it comes to first-time buyers. Some agents are great to work with investors, but they're horrible with first-time buyers. They might work better with experienced folks. I don't know. You might need to be handheld all the way through it. You know you, and you want to interview so you can get that personality, make sure you gel. How will you communicate with me, and how often is the number 4 question. Now this is huge. This is a non-negotiable. So up front, ask their preferred method of talking. Text, email, phone, Zoom call, whatever it might be, and a typical response time. If you expect quick replies and they say, I usually return calls within 48 hours, that might not be going to fly with you. Also, do they keep you updated proactively? A great agent might say, I'll send you a brief update every few days, even if nothing major is happening, just so you're never wondering. I'm at a stage in my life where I'm available. It's sad. My social life is my buyers and sellers a lot of times in my family. I can be on the spot, lickety split. I call many listing agents all the time. It's a day. Number 5, do you have preferred lenders, inspectors, attorneys, etc.? This question lets you gauge their network and experience. An established buyer's agent are going to have the contacts. Oh yeah, I've got a great mortgage guy who can work with first timers. I know a thorough home inspector who saved my clients from buying money pits. If they look at you like, oh no, I don't have anything, and have no recommendations whatsoever, they might be too green or not very helpful at all. Just remember, you can choose your providers, but a savvy agent has suggestions in this, and they do it every day. So theirs are going to be well known. Number 6, what will you do to make sure I don't overpay? Now watch how they answer this. A solid agent should be talking about running comparable sales, analyzing the market value, negotiating hard so you get a house at fair price. First-time buyers fear overpaying more than any other thing. So your agent should take that very seriously. If someone just says, don't worry about it, it's a hot market, you'll have to pay to play. Without any strategy whatsoever, that's not good enough. You want to hear about data and strategies, not just the vibes. Now, number 7, will I need to sign a contract to work with you? Can you explain that? Now, pretty much all good agents will have you sign a buyer's agent agreement. In fact, it's required now just to show you a house. Like I said, as of 2024, it became standard nationwide. You don't want to work with a bunch of realtors. Work with one. Interview correctly. Pick the right one in the beginning and make sure that they help you out all the way through the process. But ask them to walk you through that agreement. Spell out how they get paid, how long the agreement lasts, and what happens if you actually want to cancel. A pro will happily explain all the terms. And by the way, most of the time, the seller pays agents commissions, not you, but always clarify if there's any scenario you'd owe them money, like if a seller doesn't offer commission, because everything is a negotiation. Nothing is free, truly. Number 8, what if I'm not happy? Can I cancel our agreement? Now this is a follow-up to the contract question, but I'm putting it separate because it's important. You need to know if you're stuck with this person or if you can amicably part ways. Many agreements have a clause that lets your agent terminate with notice. Now here in Columbia, I'm going to tell you, nothing's unilateral. You have the broker and the buyer have to agree, sign termination papers in order to get out of your agreement. You can't just, like in many states, you can just provide written notice that you're leaving them, and that's all you have to do. This has to be unilateral here in the Midlands of South Carolina. For me personally, listen, if we don't gel, if you don't want to work with me, I promise you, I will let you out of your agreement. And you can sign those agreements for even just a month instead of 6 months or instead of a year. Everything is a negotiation, like I said. Number 9, and I ask this for a reason too. How do they feel about dual agency? This will say a lot because in many states, dual agency is illegal, and it may be coming to many more states. I hope it comes to South Carolina, to be honest. An acceptable answer would be, if it were family or somebody who had all the terms mapped out and you're doing mainly the paperwork and there's no real negotiations. I did one of these recently and I only charged 3% for both sides, 1.5 a piece, because I wasn't doing as much, but I'm making sure everything goes smoothly. That is not what I typically charge, but it's what I gave for them. Now you want to talk to and research multiple agents if you can. Compare their answer and vibes. This isn't speed dating where you must commit to the first person you meet. Take your time and choose someone who checks the boxes and gives you a good gut feeling. Now part of that interview process may be someone like me where I'm all over YouTube and I have tons of videos. Most people, when they call me for a Zoom call, they feel like they already know me. A lot of people are online and stuff too. Check them out. Now the main thing I wanted to spend time on was that interview process so you can know what to look for. We're going to talk red flags and deal breakers. Not every agent's a winner. Here's some of the red flags and the sneaky manipulative things you want to look out for. Poor communication. We talked about that. That's a non-negotiable. They've got to be available for you, period. Limited availability. In that same vein, if an agent is always too busy, he cancels on you or can't schedule showings promptly, that's not a great sign either. Me personally, like I said, I'm divorced with grown kids and real estate is my life. So my clients literally are my social life. Lucky them. I pride myself on being always available for a home tour or a call when you need me. If an agent makes you feel like you're begging for their time, show them the door. Pushy, high pressure tactics. You do not want anything like this. If you feel at any one time an agent is trying to push you toward a home, then it may be time to go ahead and just get rid of them. Lack of local expertise. We talked about this one in even the interview questions. You need to be in that area, know your neighborhoods, know your area of expertise. You want to be the expert in it. Google can only tell you so much. You need to be able to answer basic questions about your area. No negotiation skills. You're hiring an agent to get you a good deal and protect you in negotiations. If an agent just nods yes to whenever the selling listing agent says there's a problem, you might sense this early on. Maybe they discourage you from taking a competitive offer or they never push back on anything. Again, those will be in the reviews, in Google reviews. If somebody feels like they're wronged, they're itching to write a review about them. Unrealistic promises and sketchy behavior. Beware of the agent who promises you the moon just to get you to sign with them. That's a huge red flag. Don't go with anybody that tells you, I'm gonna get you 50K under your budget. You don't know. We're gonna do our best and we're gonna try, but not make promises with it. Ethics. You want somebody, if it's a massive purchase, you want an agent whose integrity you can trust, period. Listen, any of these red flags that pop up when you're interviewing an agent, don't ignore them. Trust your gut. It's okay to say, bye, Chad, and find someone better. In fact, if you're already in a contract with a buyer's agent and they start showing you these signs, you may need to cut ties then. This is your money and your peace of mind at stake on one of the biggest deals you've ever done. But let's talk about the first-time buyer fears and what the right agent does for those. The number one, first-time buyers have a fear that they're going to overpay. Now, a great agent shows you comps, explains the market, and gives you a calm plan. Number two, I don't understand any of this. Now, a great agent's going to teach you without making you feel dumb. Let me tell you, when I first got into real estate, there was so much to learn. I felt dumb all the time. I kid you not, it was like drinking water from a fire hydrant. This was why I went on a team when I first started, to learn. And evidenced by my videos, I have also learned how to teach people the necessities with all the fluff added to it. I can dumb it down for anybody and tell you still everything that it has to do with. And the number three fear for first-time buyers is, I'm gonna pick wrong. And a great agent helps you think about those long-term things: resale, location, condition, risk. If your agent makes you feel rushed, confused, embarrassed, that's not your agent. That's your problem wearing a name badge. And hey, if you're liking this kind of real talk, give me a thumbs up. It tells YouTube not to hide me in a ditch so that I can help more people as I go. That algorithm does matter. Let's review some of those power moves that you can use. Here's how you stay in control. Research and talk to multiple agents. Compare and contrast them. Read every single agreement and ask questions. Set your boundaries early, budget, location, and make sure you know what your must-haves are. Don't fall for the fear marketing. Don't let agents tell you, oh, you're going to lose this house if you don't contract on it right now. Make sure that you have all the facts and make sure you know what you're doing and you're 100% sure. If you're married, have somebody else that you're moving in with, talk about it and get back to your agent. Agree with them. Your agent should be making it easier, not harder. And remember, you can walk away if it's a bad fit. Now let's bring it all home. You can have the exact same scenario between two different buyers, and those buyers have two different buyer's agents. And if you sat down to talk to each one of them separately after they had their closings, they would be totally different conversations because they're different agents. One may be well informed and the process went smooth, and the other took longer, less informed, and had no clue what just happened, except they now have a house. They both got to the end, but one's experience was much better. They were more excited. The agent took on all the hard stuff while you got the excitement, and they most likely saved a good deal of money in their process. That's the agent you want to go with. That's real life. The right agent can save you money, stress, and regret. The wrong agent can cost you the house or cost you years of fixing a mistake that you never saw coming. So here's your homework. Do the research, ask the questions, watch the body language, and choose the one that makes you feel informed, protected, and confident. If you're buying in Columbia, South Carolina, reach out to me. Listen, I'd love to help. If you're buying anywhere else, tell me where. You'll get a strong referral from me because I don't play around with people's money. And I will do the interview process before you do. And then you do it also to make sure the two of you coincide and work well together, and the two of you mesh. This way it is done twofold and you have double safeguards on it. And listen, if you wait to the next video, give me some ideas, comments, tell me what you want, because I'll be honest with you, I haven't even chosen it yet. I got some great ideas, but I have not even chosen the next video yet. So till next time, I hope this give me a thumbs up if this was really good information for you. If it's not, tell me what I can do different. You guys have a great day.